Koreans possess a unique characteristic that cannot be found in other countries, a culture of doing everything quickly. This Bali Bali culture has led to the development of a distinctive infrastructure in Korea, some of which has garnered praise from abroad. However, there are also aspects that leave foreigners in disbelief. Let's explore what those cultural differences are. First, there's a notable behavior that allows foreigners to identify a Korean when they observe how we use elevators. As soon as all the passengers are on board, a Korean will immediately press the close button. Typically, it takes about 7 seconds for elevator doors to open and close, but for Koreans, those 7 seconds feel more like 7 minutes. Therefore, instead of waiting, they press the close button right away. Of course, if someone is running towards the closing doors, they'll quickly hit the open button to help them get in. While it may seem unnecessary to press the close button, this behavior is quite surprising to foreigners. In most countries, people wait for the doors to close automatically. It's interesting to note that in foreign films, unless it's a horror or thriller genre, we rarely see characters repeatedly pressing the close button. In the United States, for example, while there is a close button, it may not even function. Alternatively, even if the button is pressed, the doors are set to close after 3 seconds. This setting is meant to assist individuals with disabilities, ensuring that the doors don't close too quickly. So, when foreigners see someone pressing the close button immediately, after others have entered the elevator in Korea, it's undoubtedly surprising. In Korea, people in wheelchairs or those with mobility issues are often helped by others on board, who press the open button to wait for them, creating a culture that may not recognize the need for such a feature. Second, the 6th most popular hobby among Koreans is watching movies. Koreans are the 2nd highest in the world when it comes to visiting cinemas, which means that movie theaters in Korea are exceptionally well maintained. Although foreigners don't often go to cinemas in other countries, many are drawn to Korean theaters because of their excellent facilities and unique themed cinemas, particularly for experiences like 4DX. Korea was the first country in the world to establish a 4DX screening theater. You can also find cinemas where you can drink beer, lie back to watch films, or even eat while watching a movie. There are many fascinating cinema experiences that can only be found in Korea. While unique cinemas are one of the surprising aspects of Korean culture for foreigners, there's another common behavior that shocks them. Regardless of the type of cinema, Koreans tend to leave the theater before the movie ends. This might sound absurd. Who would pay for an expensive movie ticket just to leave before it's over? However, the confusion arises from the different perceptions of the end moment between Koreans and foreigners. In Korea, if a movie does not have any post-credit scenes, most people will rush out as soon as the closing credits start to roll. The exits are timed to open right when the credits begin, allowing for a quick exit. In contrast, in other countries, the closing credits are viewed as part of the film. Therefore, theaters typically do not allow exits until the credits have fully played, leading audiences to wait until the end. Recently in Korea, more and more viewers are choosing to stay until the end of the credits. Many new films include additional storylines or previews hidden in the credits, attracting audiences to remain in their seats. Yet, viewers who have checked to see if a film has post-credit scenes beforehand still make a quick exit if there isn't one. It seems that the Korean Bali Bali mentality continues to evolve. Third, a testament to the well-developed Korean infrastructure is that most people use credit cards. In Korea, one can go out with just a single card, using it for public transportation, food, and shopping. When making purchases over 50,000 won, customers are required to sign. However, it's a common sight for the vendor to sign on behalf of the customer. This often happens in small stores, where it allows vendors to help the next customer quickly and offers convenience to the current customer. However, this is technically against the rules. If you examine the instructions for card usage closely, it states that customers must sign personally, and it is prohibited for someone else to use the card. This is also the case abroad, where foreigners adhere strictly to these rules. So, when foreigners experience being signed for by someone else, they can be quite shocked and uncomfortable. This practice may lead to some feeling very displeased, indicating that this Bali Bali culture is an area that Koreans should reconsider. Additionally, using someone else's signature may make it difficult to gain legal protection should issues arise. Therefore, it would be good if a safer culture of personal signatures became more common. Fortunately, awareness of this matter has increased recently, resulting in a significant decrease in stores that allow these proxy signatures. Nowadays, it's not common to encounter such places. If you do, be sure to clearly state that you wish to sign yourself before proceeding. It's worth noting that the commonly referred to mom card is, strictly speaking, illegal. So it's also beneficial for parents to educate their children on how to use cards in their own name. Fourth, when Koreans stand in front of a vending machine, they instinctively do something peculiar. They hold the cup before the drink has even dispensed. Although they could simply wait for the beverage to come out before grabbing the cup, it seems that over time, people of all ages have instinctively learned to reach into the vending machine and hold on to their cup while waiting. Foreigners often find this behavior perplexing after all. Holding the cup doesn't make the drink come out any faster. Some may wonder how busy Koreans are to go to such lengths for every second saved. It seems this habit is simply a reflex of being Korean. Fifth, no matter which mode of transportation they take, whether a bus or subway, foreigners notice a distinct behavior among Koreans. They often prepare their belongings before getting off. This is another habit born out of the desire to get off just a second earlier. However, it's quite dangerous to attempt to retrieve your belongings while the bus is still moving. Trying to rush off can lead to serious accidents, as sudden jolts might cause items to fall, or even result in a person getting injured during sudden stops. To address this, many transportation services now remind passengers not to stand up until the bus has come to a complete stop. It's hoped that these inappropriate Bali Bali habits among Koreans will improve sooner rather than later. Lastly, South Korea is known for having incredibly fast internet speeds. Foreigners often leave impressed after using the internet in Korea. However, it seems that becoming so accustomed to such high speeds has led Koreans to develop a habit of refreshing the page whenever it slows down, often hitting F5 prematurely. Even waiting just 5 seconds seems unbearable for some, leading to the frequent pressing of the refresh button. While Korea's Bali Bali culture has yielded many positive results, it has also led to some behaviors that warrant improvement. It's my hope that we can enhance the good aspects while addressing and improving the less favorable ones, forging a better South Korea in the future.